Good morning, this is Robin Bieber on the Crude Spread Talk on the 12th of May at 7:50 in the morning London time. And the first chart we're looking at is June-July WTI, which is a bit of a technical outlier. It's been strong as goat's breath for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and now it's moved over the 100-day moving average, which was its target of a couple of days ago, which it hit. Now moving over minus 113, the 100-day moving average, gives it a target to minus 29, the gap. Now, this is a gap left some way back in March. Now, that's the target so long as it stays over minus 113. If it were to dip, it must not move and close below the 5-day moving average at minus 124. It's printing minus 92 at the moment. Below 124 would probably turn this stochastic negative. It's already pretty high, and also make it very vulnerable to a move back to the 8-day at minus 163. So what's the minus 113 pivot? It's very important. And the 60-minute chart on this spread is showing itself to be a little bit toppy in the short term, so don't be surprised by some early weakness today and a retest of the area of minus 113. Now the July-August, stable, had an erratic day yesterday but has moved over the 5-day moving average at minus 163 and come back to within a smidge of its target, erstwhile hits target at minus 146. If it can close over minus 146 and also the 55-day at minus 137, it's got upside, probably to minus 93, the correction point. But the area 146, minus 146 to minus 137 is a troubled zone. It's a minefield. Be careful. Whilst over the 5-day at minus 163, it's in good shape. Were it to fail there and take out the 8-day, then we would be in a serious failure condition and lower numbers. Over the 5-day indicates momentum higher. Over the 8-day means the uptrend is still intact. But if we were to close below the 8-day, we'd be in serious trouble and be looking for lower numbers. The stochastic is a bit wobbly, so be careful. The 60-minute chart is suggesting we're getting toppy for this morning, and that I would expect it to falter and pull back and probably potentially test the 5-day moving average. Now moving to some back-end structure, DEC June TI at the 5-day at minus 248. It needs to move over that pivot minus 248 to have a go at minus 217, the 55-day moving average. If it fails at the 5-day, then look for a run back to minus 266, the 8-day. Over on the left here, the 60-minute chart is suggesting more upside early this morning. The DEC Red DEC has the 5-day moving average as a pivot at minus 409. It's printing 407. If it can take out the 5-day to the upside, look for a run back to the 55-day at minus 362. If it fails, it looks like it'll test the 8-day at minus 428. Were it to fail at the 8-day at minus 428, it would be in trouble and suggesting lower numbers, and I think we'd be heading potentially significantly lower. If we look over at the 60-minute chart here, it is suggesting some more upside yet. In other words, trying to hold the 5-day. Watch the 5-day very carefully today as a pivot. Now moving on to Brent structure. The left-hand chart is July-August, and it's showing some teeth this morning. It had a bit of a violent day yesterday, but it's over the 5-day at minus 97, and whilst it's over that, it could easily run back up to the recent highs near the CP correction point at minus 66. Use the 5-day as a pivot. The stochastic is worryingly wobbly and high, but below the 5-day at minus 97, look for a test of the 8-day at minus 111, where also the 50% correction point comes in. This is an important number. If we fail to hold here, we've got a 50-cent dip in store for us. And if we look at the 60-minute chart, it's suggesting we might be a little bit overcooked this morning, so be careful. This spread is susceptible to a move back lower. Now the AUG has also come back and moved over its 5-day at minus 90. Use that as a pivot. If it fails there, then it was likely to test the 8-day at minus 99, and the key is that level, minus 99. If that fails, we're going south, and it could be a nasty move. However, whilst above the 5-day, it's in good shape, and it's got not a target, but it's got resistance at -81, an important number because it's the 50% correction point. If we move and close over there, then there's some upside. But watch this -81 level, it's pretty important resistance. And the 60-minute chart is suggesting the org set is toppy and we should retrace some gains, probably to test the 5 and then the 8-day, potentially the 8-day moving average. Now looking at some back end structure, the DEC June is just holding its 8-day moving average at 270 where it's printing. If this fails, it's very, very prone to a move back to 287 and potentially the 13-day at 304. So there's some downside if this 8-day doesn't hold. The stochastic has gone negative, but if we look at the 60-minute chart, it's suggesting that actually it wants to try and pick up a little bit. So watch this 270 pivot point. It's absolutely critical. It's an absolutely critical pivot today. The Brent DEC Red DEC is holding the 8-day at -454. This must hold, or it slides back to probably 50 cents or so to about -$5. The 5-day moving average at -440 is significant resistance unless it moves over there and closes over there, and it looks like it's going to test it this morning. There's no upside, but over the 5-day, and it has another pop at the 55-day at -394. The 60-minute chart is suggesting there's some immediate upside for the early part of the morning. So that's all for today, folks. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.